So today expiry happened, weekly expiry. So Nifty closed at a spot of 12,690, which is very close to 12,700, and Bank Nifty at 28,300 approximately. So shedding 500 plus points. How's that going to behave? Let's in the coming time. Let's see. We'll just analyze charts on different parameters and option chain as well. So just be with me for next 20 minutes. Um, so before we really start, so apologies for last 2-3 days I wasn't keeping well, so hence couldn't really make the videos. But now I guess you should be able to make the videos regularly. So welcome to Bulls and Bear channel, and thanks for your time. So let's dig into Nifty and Bank Nifty. What is how they are looking on charts. So we are on Bank Nifty's daily chart. So if you see Nifty daily chart, and if you just analyze two runs of Nifty, so from this level of 10,800 levels to Nifty ran 10% to the levels of 12,000, so which was exactly kind of 10%, and that happened just in a matter of, let's say, 2 weeks, or maybe 10 to 12 work trading sessions for it. Yeah, less than 15 trading sessions, maybe we can say 3 weeks time. So that was a 10% run up in the starting from end of September, and then mid or third week of October. The Nifty paused for a few days and consolidated within this range of 12,000 and 11,500. So, and then on this day of 2nd of November, Nifty again shot up and started running, and it was majorly because of the US elections and some corona vaccine things, and Joe Biden winning the US election. So again, we have seen that Nifty has made same 10% kind of a move from 11,500 to 12,700 levels. Over the last 2-3 days, if we look at, so Nifty during the day on an intraday basis have really fallen sharply. Let's look that on the chart so that we can relate it to. So if you see this, in last 3 days, so once Nifty has had fallen from 12,700-ish levels to 12,500 levels, 12,770 levels to 12,600 levels, kind of, you can say. And today again there was a sharp correction that had come in, let's say from 12,725 levels to 12,650 kind of levels. So that was no doubt a shallow correction relatively. So yeah, it is now looking like that there is a correction coming at higher levels, and that correction has been swift rather, though at the moment the recovery is strong. So it's been able to buy, uh, so bulls are able to buy those corrections, and that's the reason we still see Nifty 12,700 plus levels. uh, I don't know how do we look at it at the moment, that whether these corrections are the over, or they are going to have more, but looks like, so once these kind of sharp corrections start coming, so maybe it's time to get a bit cautious rather than I know these are getting bought. So we'll see some of the signals on the chart, how, and I'll also analyze with you on these. So let's see, let's on daily chart, if we see, so do we see any kind of tapering down on momentum indicators? We don't see much of a impact on momentum indicators because of the strong rally 10%. So we have seen in these last 10 days, we have seen only first red candle, right? However, we've been seeing last 3 days there's a kind of lower tails and wicks getting formed. Today is of course one we can say that a small candle that is basically can be a pause candle or can be a candle that is showing some tiredness at the higher levels. So this is one, but if you look at a slightly smaller time frame, then that may give us a good signal that where are we heading. So I'm just looking at, let's say, 2 hourly charts. So what is 2 hourly chart suggesting us? Let me go to the spot levels. So this is 2 hourly chart. So, and let's go to the hourly first, let's say. So hourly chart, this chart doesn't really tell us, it's also kind of showing that there is still momentum is up there, and no as such weakness sign from a trend line is still intact, no issues. However, if we look at the RSI, we are seeing a RSI divergence happening, and this is, let's say, the first time this RSI, if you look at 12,450 levels, so that one in time RSI was this levels of 87.6, and then since then we gone up to 12,760 levels on Nifty, but RSI had come down to 85 kind of levels, and since then it has really dropped significantly from there. So that shows that the red candles are basically the number of red candles are significantly now increasing as compared to the green candles. So that's a first sign that we need to see, but whether we need to be worried about it or not until unless we are above 12,570 levels. So that can be a healthy correction. Anything comes there, or if Nifty consolidates within this zone and respects this trend line, till then we are good. On the other side, if you look at the momentum indicator, which is CMO, here also we see that the momentum is slowing down basically. So that slowing down momentum may lead us to that market consolidates around these levels on these some 200, 300 point range, or if it reverses, then of course, the next level that we can see is 12,300 kind of levels, right? Because that is 38.2% retracement on our Fibonacci retracement levels, and 50% being 12,200 kind of levels. So that's still far 4 to 5% kind of a gap from there, but yeah, looks like that out of that 10% rally, even if we, let's say, come down by 5%, which is going to be just 50% retracement of the last run up. So this is let's say if the overall analysis of Nifty, whether it is from candlesticks point of view, or momentum, or RSI, or Fibonacci, or trend line. So we have covered 4 or 5 different parameters to look at it. So let's understand one more thing on Nifty option data. What is our option data for the coming series is showing us? So option data suggests that 12,700, which is spot at the moment, is call writing of 14.5 lakh shares has happened. So which is substantial, and the next highest is at 13,000, which is 300 points away from here. So on the other side, the put writing is also highest level is 12,600, 12,700. So it looks like that bulls and bears both are kind of trying to keep the Nifty at the same around the same levels. So that is in their interest. Let's say 12,500 levels and 12,700 levels kind of range. So another important aspect you may want to see is that Nifty hasn't really moved much today. It just kind of, if you look at the today's overall fall in Nifty, is just 50-60 points. But look at the interesting fact here that the option premiums have gone up so much that today, despite the Nifty just fallen by 60 points, the call prices have reduced by 60 points. On the other side, the put option price has also gone down by 5 points. So basically, the option buyers have lost money on both the sides, and the option sellers have made the money. So we'll see the same thing, whether the same thing is happening on the bank Nifty as well. But that is how interesting this is, that options are really expensive at the moment, and we may see that you know option sellers may decide the direction of the market, right? So let's look at another thing, which is India VIX, right? So um, what is India VIX showing us? So India VIX, if you see, has fallen very, from 27 levels, 26 levels to the levels of again 1920. So now option prices actually should fall, and that is what we are seeing here, that overall option prices have fallen on both the sides, right? So that is clearly showing that. But yeah, good thing about IVs or India VIX falling is that market is not very cautious in terms of they are not fearing much about markets falling too much. Okay, so that is how it is. And let's look at now bank Nifty. So we are looking at this bank Nifty's daily chart. So if you see here from a candle, and here the run up has been very substantial as compared to the Nifty. So in last similar period, Nifty has increased only 10%, has gone up by 10%, but Bank Nifty, if you see, has gone up from the levels of 23,500 to 29,000, which is 5,500 points, and which is roughly 25%. So if you see here, so Bank Nifty has outperformed Nifty by more than double the margin. So which is a substantial recovery. And of course, by Bank Nifty, which was lagging as compared to Nifty. But if we still compare Nifty and Bank Nifty from pre-corona levels and now, so Nifty has already made a new all-time high, wherein Bank Nifty is still 10% away from that level. So that is an interesting thing. But yeah, great run up, great catch up by Bank Nifty if we look at from an overall point of view. Now let's do a little bit of a microscopic view at this. So first thing first is, let's say if you look at these last three candles, so those shows that yes, the yesterday's candle was indecisive candle, wherein we saw a sudden fall in the market and then recovered from the lows of the day. Let's look at 15-minute chart to have a good look about it. See, that is where the 29,000 levels Nifty, Bank Nifty peaked out, and from there just started falling and came down roughly 750 points. So but from there it just went higher and then couldn't really sustain that levels, couldn't really reach to that levels, and then again started coming down. The interesting thing here is that you may just see that Bank Nifty has made this head and shoulder pattern, right? So this head and shoulder pattern is basically very potent pattern, and it's a reversing signal generally. But whether that reversing signal has kind of broken out or not, that is what we need to kind of see. So it is still not broken out, but you can see this is a head and shoulder formed on Bank Nifty. So you can easily see this. So once this is the shoulder line is broken out of it, and then we can easily make out what is the next target for Bank Nifty on a lower side will be 29,800 points from here. Let's say 800 point goes from 28,000, so 27,000 400 kind of levels. So yeah, so this is where we can really expect Bank Nifty to come. So 23,400 kind of levels if this head and shoulder pattern breaks down. So that is one finding that you may just want to keep in your mind. And let's look at other things as well. Let me just get rid of these. Okay, so this is I'll just change it to, I'll draw a trend line from here. So if you see this trend line, so Bank Nifty shows that the trend line is broken here, however not very substantially. So maybe you may just want to kind of take a trade around, let's say, with a stop of 28,500 kind of levels, and then for a good target of 27,400, 500 kind of levels. So that's what we'll see on Bank Nifty down, coming down. So one is that head and shoulder pattern, second is trend line is broken. And if you were to see, let's say, what is Fibonacci telling us, if it has to come down, so what is the level that we can expect it to? So that is what, the round figure of 27,000 is the 38.2% retracement of the Fibonacci. So Fibonacci shows us that yes, any retracement to 38.2% is 27,000, which is to my mind is going to be a healthy retracement. So all the fluff will go out in that to a 2,000 points correction. So not even 2000, now it is 1200, 1300 points correction, but that's good. So but yeah, there we can see if Nifty wants to stop, or Bank Nifty wants to stop, or it further. So if you were to kind of retrace 50%, then of course 26,300 is the level. So this is about, let's say, Fibonacci. And let's see how RSI, if RSI giving us any signals, or momentum indicator giving us any signals. Let's see on those as well. So on daily charts, if you see that RSI is dipping now, and it has peaked at 80 plus levels, and now it has come down to 74 levels, which is not really very too much after so much of run up. Let's look at the shorter time frame chart. So I'm looking at 2 hours time frame at the moment. So here if you see that the RSI fall has been much more. So in the very short term, we may see Bank Nifty falling down, and momentum indicator is also showing us that it has gone to negative, which means the kind of momentum that we were seeing in that 25% run up is fading now. So which may help that head and shoulder pattern to fructify, and then we can easily see those levels of 27,400 and 27,000. So that is about Bank Nifty on the charts. Let's look at what is option data telling us. So options data for 19th of November. If we look at it again, so 28,200 is the spot price at the moment, and if you see the 29,000 and 28,500, we have the highest put writing happening, right? So that is that can act as a resistance. Historically we have been proven wrong, but that's how we have to respect market. We have to see what is market doing. We cannot dictate market, but we have to flow with the markets. But we are just reading the data. If that works out well, otherwise stop loss gets triggered, nothing more than that. And on the other side, if we look at the where we can find some support in terms of put writing, so we see 28,000 put writing and then 27,500 put writing, but however the highest put writing is seen at 27,000. See how expensive are puts, let's say here. So someone is still paying or ready to pay 100 rupees for 1,300 points below. So the person will start making losses only if the Bank Nifty closes below 26,900 on coming Thursday. So that shows that maybe these prices are so skewed up, and there is a high, but if the sellers have sold those, and they are also seeing that they don't expect these kind of levels. So maybe that's where people are not able to digest this kind of rally, and everyone is just thinking that it may just has to fall somewhere. Okay, so that is one. But look at another interesting thing, as we saw in Nifty option chain as well. So wherein see, Bank Nifty has fallen 500 plus points today, so about 500, 550 points. But see how call prices have reduced. So call prices have reduced to the tune of 400 to 430 points at the, I'm looking at the spot levels, or the at the money call, and on the same time at the money put options have increased only by 70 points, which is basically that if someone would have sold the call and put both, so still the person would have made 350 points but just by selling the at the money call and put option. So this is how it's showing that yes, the VIX, falling VIX have reduced the prices. So market is not expecting too much of a big fall. So that is what. And on the other side, yeah, it's a consensus is always a problem for market. Right. So this is all about Bank Nifty as well. Let's now quickly talk about a couple of stocks. So we can just maybe talk about few stocks. I have just identified couple of stocks stock ideas for buy and sell. So first let's go with the buy idea. So first one is Just Dial. So this, I know it's a very this Just Dial has broken out when it had crossed 435 440 levels, and since then it has really shot up like anything, right? It had gone to 700 levels. From there it corrected to the levels of 570, and now it gives a good signal of basically again that the correction is over. So we can just use maybe Fibonacci to see whether that the correction that we saw, it corrected roughly about 38.2% kind of levels. But here that's where we are seeing that's again trying to go up. See, the volumes are higher, and this pattern, I love this pattern, so this is good. So you can just keep your stop at 570 to 574 levels, and the target that I'll be looking at is at least 680. So good risk reward ratio, and 680 to 700 kind of targets. So good risk reward ratio in this. And let's say second one that we are going to talk about is Intratel. So Intratel is trading at a very at its support levels, and on the other side if you look at it, so it's making a divergence here on the RSI. So, and second is that it has tried to go up today, but again at the later end it just didn't really stay above, but it came down. But it looks to me that maybe the selling has stopped for the timing, and the selling in this has been overrun kind of, and maybe from here it has a potential to go up. So first target will be 170, 188, 187, 196, 200 kind of levels, and this stock really runs up like anything whenever on its day. So that is a stop loss for me would be 176. So very small stop loss, and the risk reward is very good for that matter. Third one that we'll talk about is Hindustan Lever. So Hindustan Lever has kind of made this double bottom pattern. So this is Adam and Eve pattern, and here if you look at this, so it has made a double bottom and broken out today with good volumes. So this looks like a good it can really give good results. So this was a laggard in all this rally that we saw in Nifty, but now maybe next few days this is one of the heavyweights that may support Nifty. So 2200 kind of levels, and then the next target that we see is maybe about 2330 kind of levels. So that is on the buy side. On the sell side, I see that Kotak Bank Though it is really, let me just warn you, this is not a positional sell or anything. It is just a swing trade, right? So swing trade is just for 3 to 5 days. I see that Kodak Bank has really run up really too much from these levels. So if you see, it made a high of around 1120, and from here I expect it to, let's say, retrace at least to 100 points from here, where it is at least 200. So if has to retrace, let's say 38.2, so still it will come to 1620 levels, which is 130 points below from here. So again, this is the same pattern that I'm talking about. This pattern I love, and this pattern still suggests that there is a selling happening, and that probably is leading Bank Nifty as compared to leading down Bank Nifty as compared to Nifty. So that is one sell idea. And then other is ICICI Bank. Um, if we look at ICICI Bank, so it has kind of ran up, then paused, then again ran up. So similar kind of a pattern it is also making. So roughly 10% run up and then pause, and then again roughly kind of in fact this time more than 10% run up. So here but if you look at last 2-3 days, so this has been kind of making a hanging man kind of a pattern, which at a after a bull run, of course this is not really very convincing. It's not a buying strong candle. It shows that there are sellers coming in, however buyers are still able to push that higher. So today's candle is closed below those, so it's a kind of again negative candle. So I would see that it may just come in next few days. It will come down and it should cool off a bit. That is one of the reasons that if your the heavyweights in the banking are going to come down, so of course then they may drag the bank nifty down. So the next natural level that we can see is 450 kind of levels, which is 5-6%. So again, this is not a long-term trade. These all are swing trades for that matter, right? And hope you have found these analysis useful. And so that's all about it today. And please do share your thoughts on any of the analysis that you have done. And if you want me to analyze any of the charts, so don't hesitate to drop the names in the comment section. I'll be happy to take them in our next discussion. And thank you so much for spending your time on the video. So it was a little lengthy one, but there were a lot many things that we covered today, and it's probably well spent half an hour. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye.